I am so excited, you guys, to bring you Brad Bizjack tonight. Him and I connected on Facebook. I should make sure. Did I say your last name right there? Is that right? Okay, good. Want to make sure it wasn't like a silent J or something. Um, can you imagine? Him and I connected on Facebook. He has spoken eloquently on many of the top teams in Beachbody. We're talking like the top coaches who are running well-oiled, well-established teams. And he offered to do a mindset training for us tonight for our team. So I'm so grateful and excited to hear from his wisdom. Brad, I'm actually going to let you introduce yourself because I know that you'll be able to do that much better than I could even do. So I'm going to mute myself and step out of the way and give you the floor. And if there's time at the very end of the call, hopefully we'll be able to ask a couple questions if there are any. And in the meantime, you guys, if you do have any questions during the chat, just put them in the chat if you have questions, and I'm sure he'll address them as he goes or after the fact. So I'm going to step out of the way. Thank you so much for being here, Brad. Really, really excited. And thank you to everybody who is on live. I know lots of people are going to watch the recording. So
sweet. What's going on, everyone? Happy Wednesday night. Is everyone having a good time? I am going to try to keep this to 35 minutes, but I normally go 55. So we're going to try to cram it all in there. And then if for any reason, guys, like, and Marie, I don't know if you're cool with this, if for any reason we don't finish in time, maybe we can like all hop right back on a new link or something. So we'll get it figured out, but I want to make sure that we don't sacrifice time for value tonight. I want to make sure and bring the noise for you guys. That's what tonight is all about, helping you master this, your mindset, your negative self-talk, all that stuff that stops you from becoming the person that deep down you're meant to be. Like Marie said, I'm Brad Bizjack. Just so you guys know, I'm a mindset coach. I'm an inspirational speaker. I'm the creator of Appreciation Academy. And my job, my mission is to help online business owners silence all the negative self-talk going on up here so you can finally see the success that you deserve in your life and in your business. Awesome. So we're good with give me a thumbs up. We're good with the upgrade. Awesome, 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 awesome. Guys, I promise you it'll be worth it. So as we start here tonight, let's just make sure and be fully present. Right? Silence the phones, put the kids in a closet, turn the Instagram stories off, whatever you got to do. If you're taking the picture of the video for Instagram stories, do it now and then post it at the end. But let's start with some participation. What is a really, really big goal you have for this year? What's a big goal you have for 2019? And as you're typing that into the chat box, there's a really cool thing about that goal. There's a recipe to do it. There's a way to make it happen. There's a system. Someone's gone before you to make that goal happen. And you guys know your basic business building activities. Raise your hand if you know your 4 vital behaviors. Raise your hand if you know those behaviors. You guys know what those are, right? That's your recipe. You know how to do it. But something that you might miss is that the way you go about using those ingredients in your recipe is what matters. So what does that mean? That means you could invite 1 billion people to your challenge groups. But if your mindset's off, you're actually going to repel them. You could have what you think is a really, really big goal, but if your mindset's off, it's going to be a goal based out of fear instead of a goal based out of who you want to become. It's going to be a goal based off of what you think is realistic and safe instead of dreaming big because you secretly don't believe that you can actually go for something big. You can have the best training for your team in the world, but if your mindset's off, they're not going to do anything. In fact, how many of you guys have ever said to yourself, why isn't my business growing? You ever said that to yourself, right? I've said that to myself in the past, right? So my point with all of this is that what goes on in your mind, your mindset, your self-talk, is by far and above the most important piece of your entire business coming true. And you've heard that before, right? You've heard the cliches, change your thinking, change your life, right? Type yes if you've heard that cliche, change your thinking, change your life. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? How do you change your thinking so you can change your life? That's what tonight is about. And we're going to share tonight how to do that, especially when you're in a place in your life or your business when you don't really want to. Like, have you ever noticed, and by the way, this is going to go beyond just Beachbody coaching. This is going to be for your whole life. So have you ever kind of noticed that sometimes when you're pissed off, you kind of want to stay pissed off? Or when you're sad or down, you kind of want to stay sad and down? You know what I mean? And then when someone tries to make you feel better, you're like, dude, shut up and go away. I don't have time for this right now. I just want to be pissed off. You know what I'm talking about? Well, imagine how that affects your business, right? And it takes a week to get back on track. What if it took 3 minutes? What if it took 3 minutes instead of it taking a week? That's what tonight is all about, reversing that negative self-talk. So what I want to do is show you where my limiting beliefs and negative self-talk came from. I'm going to share with you a couple stories. You might not be able to relate to those stories. That's okay. But as I share them with you, try to see, like, where can you relate? Where did your limiting beliefs stem from? And after I go through those stories, I'm going to give you 3 major takeaways so you can hit the ground running with this right away. So let's start with the very beginning. Growing up, I had an emotional roller coaster of a childhood. And it gave me really messed up beliefs about how life is. And I'm curious, type yes if you can relate to the topic of money stress, whether past or present. Money stress at any point in your life. That was a huge limiting thing in my life for a very, very long time. My parents fought about money every day growing up. Every single day. That is not hyperbole for this call. There was always a screaming match, some form of like, why'd you spend that? Some form of, why can't you get a freaking job and get off your ass? Like all that type of language being used, right? Like all these things about money that were really negative. And I remember when I was a little kid, I was probably like 10. My parents were fighting about why the bank account was overdrawn again. And I remember going up to my mom and being like, Mommy, why do you guys have to fight about stupid money? And in that moment, she's swearing at me, cussing at me, telling me to go upstairs to my room. And my dad comes over with a soap dispenser and he starts pouring soap all over my mom. Starts pouring soap on her head, down her back, on her neck. I was terrified as a kid, thinking like, whoa, did money cause this? Like, is it because of money that my parents are fighting and screaming and yelling all the time? And I remember thinking like, okay, money must be something that you don't want in your life. And guys, if you could make sure your line is muted, that'd be super duper helpful. And I thought like money would be something that like you don't want in your life because it tears relationships apart. Because I hated it. So you can imagine when I started my business, how many of you guys think that money leads to freedom in your life? I did, right? Money leads to freedom in your life. Awesome, great belief. But how many of you guys also believe that money could cause pain in your life, right? Do you see the conflict? How you want to sprint 100 miles an hour in one direction, but there's chains around your ankles holding you back. That's where I was in my life. When I started my business, it didn't matter what I did. I wanted the freedom. I wanted all these big dreams, these big goals, but money is bad. You see how that might hold me back a little bit. It might keep me stuck in one spot. If you guys are not where you want to be in your business, it's inner conflict keeping you there. It has nothing to do with how you invite. It has nothing to do with your Facebook posts. It has nothing to do with all that stuff. That stuff's easy. It has to do with here and here. That's what's actually going on, the inner conflict. Money challenge that I had, the limiting beliefs about money, I had a really tough relationship with my mom. And I've forgiven her for all the pain in my past. That's a whole other topic that I'll cover in a program that I'll offer you guys at the end of this call. But that's a whole other point. But my point is that I had a really tough relationship with her. And I didn't know how to change the meaning and forgive her, especially when there was so much anger and so much blame and so much resentment. And really the reason that I had that blame and resentment is because growing up, I never knew who I had to be to feel worthy of her love. I never knew if she wanted me to shut up and go away. I never knew if she wanted me to be there or present. How many of you guys have a turbulent relationship with a family member, past or present, in some way, shape, or form? I didn't realize that it's never too late to have an amazing childhood. I didn't realize that until I learned how to break through. And that held me for so long. But growing up, I felt like I wasn't enough. I felt like there was no way I'd ever be enough. So when I set big goals, and I wanted those big goals to happen, but I'm not enough to make them happen, do you see the inner conflict that might be holding you, right? That's what we need to break through. It's not the invite strategy. It's not the Facebook post. It's not the network size. It's the inner conflict and the lack of belief that you can do it. So those were my 2 big ones. I had plenty of other ones that you'll learn more with me if we decide to work together. But like the point that I'm trying to make is that you have limiting beliefs too. You have these challenges that you're facing in your life too. And so if you start your business with those challenges, it won't matter what you do or the action you take. You'll just never feel like enough and you'll feel stuck. If I could define my business in the past before I learned how to break through this into one word, it'd be the word stuck. How many of you feel stuck in it could be any part of your life. It doesn't even need to be your business, your bank account, your marriage, your business, anything. I just felt stuck. And I was a spitting image of the life that I didn't want to have. Face to face with mediocrity, too much month at the end of the money, and just feeling like deep down, I knew I was meant for so much more than I was getting. But I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't know how to break through it, and I had to figure it out. And I went on a journey of changing my entire life. I heard a quote once that the transformation is in the transaction. And it changed everything, because before I was like, no, I can't go to that conference. No, I can't go to Summit. No, I can't go to those things. I don't have enough money for those things. I don't have enough time for those things. And I thought that I could just figure it out without investing in myself. And it's not how it works. The transformation is in the transaction. So I started taking out credit cards and figuring out how to pay for these seminars and stuff, like Tony Robbins conferences and Brendan Burchard conferences, and these courses and these speakers and these coaches, all these things. And I figured out what was stopping. I figured out what was getting in the way, and it led me to what I do now, which is helping people like you break through the same thing. And I tell you all that because when I tried to build a business, the overwhelming amount of negative self-talk and the lack of belief and the secret obstacles that I didn't even realize existed stopped me in my tracks. And we don't have time to go over that entire system in 55 minutes. But if you take this call really seriously, you're going to start to learn the process of how to break through your version of whatever those limiting beliefs are. So you can just not only see success, that's something that you want, absolutely, but just be genuinely happy. That's what this is about, just living a genuinely happy life. So let's start with number one. Number one, your thoughts are always the reason. Your thoughts are always the reason. So the first thing you can do, obviously, change the way you think. You've heard that before, but I'm talking about rewiring your natural default setting. Rewiring the way that you naturally respond to challenge in your life. Rewiring the way you see failure. If you seek validation, not craving that anymore. How do we rewire our default setting to actually believe in ourselves? Well, let's backtrack to see where this negative self-talk comes from. Well, have you ever noticed that your mind tells stories a lot? Like if you're in the shower, your mind goes crazy. It's like a pinball machine bouncing between all these different topics and you don't know which way is up, right? You start to tell yourself these stories, specifically related to business. Money is bad. Building a team is hard. I'm not enough. I can't do this. I don't have a big enough network. I don't have enough money. And if you say that crap enough times, what happens? You believe it. So put this in your notes. Whatever you repeat to yourself consistently, you will believe whether it's true or not. Saying the words, I can't afford that, to yourself over and over and over again, you just found out why you're broke, right? If that's a challenge that you have in your life. Saying, why is it so hard to build my business? You just found out why your business isn't growing, because that's what you're focusing on. Whenever you say to yourself consistently, you'll believe whether it's true or not. And maybe a lighter example of this is, have you ever been with like your friends at a party, and to sound like cooler than you actually are, you exaggerate a story? Right? To get more laughs or more attention. You know what I'm talking about? And you get the laughs, you get the attention. So the next time you go back and you're all hanging out together, you share that same story with so much conviction, so much belief, right? And they get more laughs, more attention, it's supported more. So then you find yourself 5 years into the future sharing this story and you don't even know what part of it is BS or not anymore. You know what I'm talking about, or am I crazy, right? You just believe it with so much conviction, and then you stop and you go, wait, is that actually true? You don't actually know. But the same thing happens with negative self-talk and limiting beliefs. Only instead of it being a fun party topic, it will sabotage everything in your life. And you go through life believing this. It creates inner conflict. It changes the way you lead your life and your business, right? If you believe that money is hard to earn, guess what? You're not going to earn any money. If you believe that business is hard to build, guess what? You're not building a business anytime soon, right? So it changes the way you lead everything in your life. And if you feel like you're forcing things in your life or in your business, it's your belief. It has to do with your belief in yourself. And so obviously you've heard that. You got to believe in yourself, right? And obviously you have to believe that you're enough before the evidence of your business will ever say that you're enough. You have to believe that you're an amazing leader before teammates are ever coming onto your team. You have to believe that you're worthy of greatness before great things will ever happen. And that's really hard to do if you don't know how, when the evidence of your life is not saying that's true. So how do we do it? Well, you can start the process of changing these beliefs by changing your questions. Put this in your notes. Better questions will change your entire life. If you are finding that your life is not high quality, look at the quality of the questions you ask yourself. And I'm willing to bet they are 100% directly in line with what those questions are, right? So you change your beliefs. You can start the process of changing your beliefs by changing your questions. If you've ever faced a point in your life where you're trying to convince yourself that you're good enough or deserve something great, but you don't actually believe you can do it, there's a reason. Like, have you ever set a big dream or a big goal, right? You have the vision board or the goal setting exercise, and you have the 5-star, the 10-star, the elite, whatever it is, or the 100K mark, the debt-free mark, whatever it is, right? You have those things. And you're looking at it, you're going, wow, that would be so freaking amazing to achieve that goal. It would be everything. It would change my entire life. Everything would be different if I achieved that goal. But there's that little voice back here that goes, you're never gonna do that. Right? Like that little voice that just whispers in your ear like doubt and insignificance. You know what I'm talking about, or am I crazy? Right? That little voice will take over your life unless you learn how to change it around. And so we have to change that thinking. We can't do it all in an hour, but here's a start. What's thinking? Thinking is nothing more than the process of asking yourself a question. That's all thinking is. Think about what you just did. You were thinking about thinking. You were going, is that actually true? You were thinking about thinking. That's what you were doing. Right? So if you ask yourself bad questions, why am I so broke? Why can't I afford that? Why am I stuck? Why don't I know enough people? What type of answers do you get? Bad answers, right? You get the answers, don't you? If you ask great questions, why am I enough? Why am I worthy? Why can I do this? Why? How can I afford it? How can I find a way? How can I fall in love with my spouse? Don't you get great answers? The mistake I made is I just thought I had to invite more, right? And it doesn't work. You do all the things, you complete the to-do list, but you feel empty inside, right? And you don't know what's going on. So let's do an example in real life to show you what I mean. Look around the room you're in right now and count up the number of things you can find that are red. Ready, go. Look for red, count the things that are red. Look for red, look for red, look for red. Look for red, look for red, look for red, look for red, look for red. Keep looking for red, look for red, look for red, look for red, look for red. Look for red, look for red, look for red. Keep looking for red. Morgan's lantern right there will count as red as well. Look for red, 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 look for red. Keep looking for red. Type in the chat box. How many things did you find that were red? What do we got? We got 6. Amazing. 6. Anyone else? 10. Awesome. 5, 9. Fantastic. You guys all passed. But question, how many things do you find that were blue? No idea. Why? Why? Because you weren't looking for blue. You weren't looking for it. It wasn't on your radar at all. But check this out. This is going to blow your mind. Look around the room that you're in right now and count up all the things that are Beachbody blue. Look for blue. Look for blue everywhere. Look for blue. Look for blue. Look for blue. Look for blue. Keep looking for blue. Look 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 for blue. Why are you staring at me, guys? Look for blue. 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 Keep looking for blue. Look for blue. Look for blue. Amazing. Type in the chat box. How many more things did you find that were blue? Where did it come from? Is it magic? Or was it always there? You just started looking for it. How many of you even saw green and pretended it was blue just so you feel successful, by the way? I know who you are, right? Well, what's the point in this? What's the point? That when you focus on what you don't want, red, why am I stuck? Why am I so broke? Why can't I do this? All these things, that's doubt. That's skepticism. That's pain. And when you look for red, what do you never see? Blue. Your dreams, why you can, how it's easy to do this, how you can find a way. You won't find it. And when you look for blue, what do you never see? You never see red. You don't even notice it. There's a piece of your brain called the reticular activating system. And its job is to fizzle out all the crap that you're not looking for. So unless you intentionally program your mind with blue, you will be stuck. This is why Jim Rohn has an amazing quote that says, stand guard at the gates of your mind, or weeds will grow automatically. What did Jim Rohn mean when he said that? Stand guard at the gates of your mind, or weeds will grow automatically. Unless you condition your mind to find blue, you will automatically find red. Why? Why does that happen? By the way, it is natural for you to be negative. It is natural for you to be negative. The reason for this is because your brain doesn't give a crap if you hit your goals. Your brain doesn't care if you hit diamond or elite or 10-star or whatever it is. Your brain doesn't care. It doesn't care. Your brain's job is to make sure you stay alive. That's your brain's job. It's a survival mechanism. So at any moment in time, it's looking for what could go wrong. It's looking to protect you from pain. So when you think about a big dream like going after 10-star or elite or whatever it is in your first year, your brain goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's be realistic here. Let's play it safe. Let's make sure we set a goal that we know we can hit. And so you don't play it big, you play it safe without realizing that realism is the fastest traveled road to a mediocre life. It keeps you stuck. It keeps you stuck. You will never get to where you want to be by being realistic. I'm not saying be stupid and say you're going to be a billionaire by tomorrow, But if you set really, really big dreams and big goals and you miss them, aren't you exponentially further than if you set small goals and hit them? Oh yeah, way further along, way further along. And the reason this happens, by the way, is because millions of years ago, you weren't worried about building a business or maintaining a great marriage or building a bank account. You were worried about the saber-toothed tiger hiding in the bushes that was going to eat your baby. That's what you were worried about. You were worried about how the heck you were going to survive. And we haven't evolved much since then. So we equate the same amount of fear to building a business and going live on social media as we did to a tiger attack. It doesn't make sense. And guys, if you can make sure your line is muted, that'd be super duper awesome. It doesn't make sense to have that fear, right? But we feel it anyways. We feel it. So let's do an example to show you what I mean. Ask yourself this right now. Why am I not enough to build my business? Why am I not enough to build my business? How does it taste coming out of your mouth to say that? Blech, right? Not very good, right? How motivated do you feel? Not very motivated at all, right? Even when you read all these positive thinking, self-help books, it doesn't change the fact that you have this voice in your head that says you can't do this, right? It just keeps you stuck, right? And I shared a couple stories a minute ago about where my limiting beliefs came from, my two biggest ones. Why is money bad? Or why is money hard to earn? And why am I not enough? What are yours? Let's get a big yes fest going on. How many of you guys have ever said something like the following? Any point at all. When you feel it, type yes. Why isn't my team doing anything? Why am I stuck? Why can't I get it right? Why don't people want to join me? How come it's so hard to lose weight? Why am I so fat? Why does my spouse always annoy me? Why am I stuck? Why can I never catch a break? Why is it so much easier for other people? Why don't I know enough people? Why can't I do anything right? Why can't I afford it? Will I always be this stuck? How many of you guys are just kind of assholes to yourself on a regular basis, right? Excuse my language, but it's kind of true, right? It doesn't feel very good. That's a limiting question. Those are all limiting questions. It doesn't feel very good to ask those. And I bet it leads to a lot of pain, a lot of procrastination, and there you are looking at your life so frustrated with the results you're getting, even though you know you're meant for so much more, and no matter how much someone tells you they believe in you, it doesn't change the voice back here, does it? That says you're never going to do this. It says you're never going to make it happen. So how do we change it? Well, when you set a goal, your dominant beliefs determine if that goal comes true. And goal setting is nothing more than the process of trying to create a new reality as opposed to your current reality. That's all goal setting is. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is whether you're looking for red or looking for blue. That's it. But until that language is consistently blue, you're going to be spinning your wheels, doing the things, not getting the results, or not having the drive or the energy or getting past the fear to do the things. Or even if you have success, you're going to be miserable. Right? Until that language is blue, you're not getting to where you want to be. So try this again. Why isn't my team growing? Try that again. Ask yourself that question right now. And notice how your brain actually looks for an answer. Just try it. Why isn't my team growing? Your brain automatically looks, doesn't it? So please understand that your entire life can be changed by flipping a question around. Your brain is a Google search engine. It will answer whatever you type into that search bar. But unless you intentionally type in something blue, what does it automatically find? Something red. And if you look for red, what do you never see? You never see blue. So what if you intentionally reverse it? If your brain is a Google search engine and you're going to get an answer anyways, you might as well flood it with things that will lead you to the life that you want. Because you're going to get an answer. When you say, why is it so hard to do this? What does your brain do? It finds all the reasons why you can't. So when you sit down to build your business, you're literally looking for why you're not capable. So you don't send the invite, you refresh your online office and wonder why more customers aren't buying your challenge packs, even though you didn't invite them. And you just feel stuck and you don't know why. And you start to lead to compounding negative self-talk. And whatever you repeat to yourself consistently, you will believe. And what's crazy is there's amazing people and opportunities and blue around you every day. But if your mindset is wired on why is it so hard, you're never going to see it. You're never going to see that mom standing behind you in the grocery store checkout line that has high cholesterol and you could save her life with Shakeology. You won't even see her. You won't even think to ask that dad next door that has no idea how he's going to pay for his little girl's college education. And you have her freedom trapped in your mouth right now. You won't even notice it. You won't even think to ask, or you'll be too afraid to ask. And that opportunity is right there. It's not that it's hard to build your business. It's that you're blocking yourself from seeing the opportunities to build your business. One of the main reasons so many business owners don't grow is because they're obsessed with why they're stuck instead of obsessed with their dreams. That's why they're stuck. So if you flip it around and try this out, why is it so easy to hit Success Club this month? Why is it so easy to hit Success Club this month? Try that one out. What does your brain do? Finds the answer, doesn't it? It looks. It doesn't. You don't even need to solve it, right? But if you live in that question, it starts to guide you to the solution, the people you could reach out to, the sacrifices you can make. Could you imagine if you flood your mind with blue every day? What you want every day? You don't even need to know how. Write this in your notes. Once you know what you want, the how will always reveal itself. You don't need to know how. But everything will change if you live in an empowering question. So for your life and your business, your homework coming out of here in 30 minutes is you're going to write down all the negative crap you ask yourself on a regular basis. Not just with your business, your life, everything. Why am I stuck? Why am I so fat? Why am I so broke? Why doesn't my husband love me? All these things, whatever it is, right? For any part of your life that's not where you want it to be. Or even parts of your life that you want to be better that are where you want it to be. And you're going to take those negative questions and you're going to flip them to their empowering alternative. You're going to turn it into, instead of why am I so broke, it's why am I so wealthy? Instead of why can't I afford it, it's how could I afford it? Instead of why does my husband not love me, it's what can I do to love my husband? Right? Like you change it to the empowering alternative. Why is it so easy to grow my team? Why is it so easy to build a business, right? You ask yourself what you want instead of what you don't want. 2 questions, by the way, that changed my whole life. Number 1, why am I so kind to myself today? Why am I so kind to myself today? And number 2, why am I worthy of living an amazing life? Because guys, life gets 100% easier if you are 1% nice to yourself. 100% easier. And what you're going to do is you're going to flood your mind with this. Like I put Post-it notes everywhere in my house with these questions. I literally, my wife probably thought I was crazy. I recorded these questions while I was sleeping at night. Or like I recorded them on my phone and listened to them while I was sleeping at night. Disclaimer, don't choke yourself with a headphone cord. But I listened to them while I slept at night. When I walked the dog, when I did the dishes, any opportunity, because I knew that if I didn't flood my mind with what I want, what would my mind automatically find? Red. And if it finds red, it never sees blue. Think you can use this in your life and your business, guys. It will change everything. That is a promise, a guarantee. It will. It is tactical, and you can start it tonight. So, is this helpful? Awesome. 2 more for you guys. Number 2, write this in your notes. Your problem isn't the problem. How you face your problem is the problem. Your problem is not the problem. How you face your problem is the problem. What does that mean? That means when you're so emotionally attached to some expectation or goal coming true, you actually push it away from you. Now, don't take this to mean that you shouldn't get excited or passionate about big dreams. You should get your hopes up. You should go after it with everything you got. You should feel amazing about it. What I mean is, if your happiness is dependent on a goal, you're making that goal almost impossible to achieve. And even if you do achieve it, you're going to be miserable. This is the elite coach that feels empty inside, right? It feels like they're not doing enough. It feels like it's never enough for them, right? So if you ever push yourself so far and so hard for a big goal, have you ever done this, right? You push yourself so hard for a big goal, but when you do it, it's like it's evading you and you don't know why. And then you get to these bouts of like depression on the couch where you want your life to change, but you can't get yourself to do it, even though you know how to do the thing to get the big goal and you don't know what's stopping you. And you feel like you're pushing really hard, your focus is on it all the time, but you just can't make it happen for whatever reason. It's because you're attached to your dreams instead of committed to your dreams. It's because your happiness is dependent on that goal. When you think that way, and this applies to weight loss, marriage, bank account, anything. When you think that way, don't you always feel crappy? Always. You always feel like your self-worth is taking a hit, and it leads to compounding negative self-talk, self-sabotage. Whatever you repeat to yourself consistently, you'll believe. And it's not true. When you try to build a business this way, it's incredibly overwhelming all the time because it's impossible to solve it because you're living in Storyville, all these things in your head about worst case scenarios bouncing around all the time, and you have no idea how to break through. So you start to accept that you just have anxiety when you don't. You just have overwhelm when you don't. You just have these challenges when they're just something we haven't learned how to break through. When you can learn to see your challenges as an objective question instead of being responsible for your happiness, the challenges get easier. Huge important note here. And this is the overarching focus of everything that I teach in my program that I'll offer you guys in a little bit. It's the overarching focus of everything I've built my business on, and it's changed thousands of lives now. You ready for it? Business success and money will not cause happiness unless you're already happy. Business success and money will not cause happiness unless you're already happy. Happiness will cause those things. Happiness and appreciation for where your life is right now is how you get more. That's abundance 101, by the way. You hear that term thrown around in my industry all the time. What is abundance? I love my life right now, and I'm so pumped about what's next. That's it. That's abundance, right? I'm so grateful for my life as is, right? That's why Shaun T always talks about in his programs, if you don't love your body, you're not going to lose weight. Why would you hate the vessel that's the key to your freedom? It doesn't make sense. So when you say, I won't be happy until X, you're pushing away the lesson that's the key to your freedom. You're literally asking to not get there. When you say, I won't be happy until I lose weight, I won't be happy until I have money, I can't invest in that coach until I have this, I can't go to Summit until I'm a 5-star diamond, right? That's how you stay stuck. Happiness and appreciation for where you are is how you overcome the challenge. Most people don't get that. I didn't. It's why I stayed stuck. You don't need to find the answer because where you are right now is the answer. When you can learn to love your life as is, finally you stop seeing where you are as a bad thing and you see the blue, the path to get to your dreams. And so put this in your notes, seeing your current good is the fastest way to increase more good. Step into the common sense corner, right? If you're God, the universe, whatever you believe in, are you going to give more to the person that's not satisfied with their gift of life that they have? Or are you going to give more to the person that loves everything about their world, even the challenge? Who are you going to give more to, right? Food for thought. And what's awesome about this one skill, guys, is it means you don't have to work nearly as hard for exponentially better results. It's like things randomly start happening and flowing to you, and it becomes so much easier because instead of death gripping the steering wheel, slamming down on the gas pedal, smoke's going out your tires, and all these other cars are flying by you on the highway to success. Susie signed up last week and she's already 15-star, right? You're going, what the heck is going on? You realize the only thing that's, I like the laughs there, good. The only thing that's happening is simply that your emergency brake is on. That's it. You don't need to slam down harder and work harder. You got to get out of your own way. You got to get out of your own way by loving where you already are. It becomes amazing when you do. So many people, might be a better analogy. So many people try to climb this big mountain of success. Like put your dream on top of a mountain. Have you ever done that? I have, right? Put the dream on top of a mountain. I'll be happy when. The problem is that that's the same thing as trying to climb a mountain with a blindfold on. Because if you need to get there now and you're attached to that dream, you're going to step off that trail and try to find your way, sprint to the top, but you're going to trip, you're going to fall, you're going to break an ankle, you're going to stumble your way. And even if you magically happen to get up to the top of that mountain with that blindfold on, you're not going to see any of the beauty around you, and the hike would have been pointless. There's no point, right? This is the elite coach that feels miserable like they haven't done enough. This is hitting Success Club and feeling like you're stuck. This is the to-do list that gets done and you still feel overwhelmed. Right? That's that feeling. That's what I lived for 7 years, probably longer than that if I include college and, growing up, right? But that's how I lived for 7 years and my professional life. But what would happen? Like, have you guys ever gone hiking out west, by the way? Okay. Have you ever gone hiking? When you go on that hiking trail and you get on, you're pumped for that summit, you're so excited, you're committed to getting there, and you're going on that trail, do you say, I hate this, 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 the entire way to the top? No. And if the trail is going the other way and doesn't even look like it's going towards the summit, do you ever doubt that that trail is leading you to the top? No. You enjoy the hike because you're committed to the dream and you love hiking. You're committed to the summit and you love the trail that you're taking. What if that's the way that you approach success from now on? You become committed to that peak, take that blindfold off, and go on this hike for the experience of hiking and not just the summit. If you did that, you'd appreciate the wildlife in the distance. You'd appreciate the exercise, the fresh air, the trees all around you, the weather, all of it. And when you get to the top, it's still going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be beautiful. You'll be able to take it all in. What if from now on, you don't go after your vital behaviors for the goal itself? You do it for the growth you experience in the person you become and the lives you change. What if that's why you do it? And if that's your objective and you're committed to the goal, well, then even if that trail's going downhill away from the summit, coach quits, return order, drop in rank, volume is lower, you're going downhill. If your goal is growth, don't you learn something instead of hate something? And isn't it easier to keep going instead of giving up and trying to pave your own path off that trail and tripping and falling everywhere and going through bushes? It becomes so much easier because you go, okay, cool, that's great. What can I learn here? Everything changes if you become committed to the dream instead of attached to the dream. Think about the emotions that come with being attached, where you need to get there now and you can't be happy until you do. What emotions do you feel on a day-to-day basis when you live that way? Type in the chat box. What do we got? If you feel like I need to get there, scarcity, yes, Marie, amazing. What else, guys? What else? Anxious, good. Keep them coming, guys. What else? Type them into the chat box. Panic, good, Caitlin. Yes, lack, absolutely. You feel frustration, right? Overwhelm, anxiety, depression, fear, disappointed, Sandy. Yes, all of those things. That's not good enough. That's what you feel on a day-to-day basis. But what if you go on the trail for the experience of hiking and the summit? You say, you know what? I'm going to have a good hike today. And you're committed to the top instead of attached. What emotions do you feel then? Type in the chat box. What do you feel if you live that way? What do you feel? Free. Yes. What else do we got? Type in excited. Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming. What else do we feel? Alive, encouraged. You feel abundant. You feel grateful. You feel happy, enjoyment, proud, all of these amazing. So think about the sets of emotions. Attachment, need it to happen and then I can be happy. Commitment, so pumped either way, and I'm pumped about what it's going to be like at the top. Those two groups of emotions that we just talked through, which of those two groups of emotions are you more likely to sign a customer from? Which of those two groups of emotions are you more likely to advance in rank from? Which of those two groups of emotions are you more likely to hit Success Club or lose weight or have a thriving marriage or be a great parent from? Everything changes, guys. It becomes so much easier to have success if you just learn how to appreciate your life where it is now. Everything changes when you love your life as is. And I'll teach you how to do that, by the way. I'm not going to just leave you with that. I'll teach you how to do that in my program. But there's a way to do it. There's a system. And I can't get into that whole system in just this call. But I can give you one more tip that will make it so much easier. Okay, you got time for one more? I get really pumped and I tend to ramble, so we might even go 5 over the hour. That's okay, but I promise it'll be so freaking worth it, guys. I promise it'll be worth it. So, number 3, I call this the secret sauce. The secret sauce. You might know it as genuine gratitude. Genuine gratitude. And where are my eye rollers? There's always a couple eye rollers on here when I talk about genuine gratitude. Please put this in your notes, eye rollers. I'm not saying you're an eye roller. I'm just saying if you did. Anyone, put this in your notes. Gratitude is hands down the greatest business tool you will ever use. It is hands down the greatest business tool you will ever use. Gratitude is a money tool. Gratitude is a marriage tool. Gratitude is a business tool. And if you don't believe it, it's because you don't practice it. And you go, wait, but I have a gratitude practice. No, I'm not talking about the bullshit gratitude where you complain about your day and then jot 3 things in a journal to feel better. That's not gratitude. That's not gratitude, by the way. If you actually feel the gratitude in here when you do that, amazing, amazing. I'm talking about the real stuff, not the stuff that you rush through because you feel so overwhelmed in life and you check it off the to-do list. I'm talking about taking 5 minutes to feel totally abundant and grateful every day. And if you don't do that, you're missing out on the point of life. And that's appreciating your life. You're missing out on happiness. You're missing out on everything. So the reason this is so powerful is because and by the way, type yes if you have a deep emotional gratitude practice that you practice daily. Don't lie, be totally honest, because I didn't for a very long time. I thought it was a crock, you know what, for the longest time, right? I thought it was. Because I had never practiced it. And then people would tell me all this stuff. And it was funny. I noticed a trend. The people that had the money, had the business, and had the success, and had the free time, they were the ones telling me this. And then the people that didn't have that were saying, don't like, no, I can't do that. And I'm not judging you with this. I'm trying to make this objective for you to say, if you don't have a gratitude practice, you need one. You need one. You need a way to feel amazing on a day-to-day basis. There are other ways besides just gratitude, but it's one of the most powerful things in the world. And Sandy, I noticed what you said about how you start and struggle. I'll teach you how to break through that. That's a skill that we can break through. I'll give you guys an offer on how to do that in just a little bit. But the reason this is so important is because it's literally impossible to feel emotional pain if you're grateful. You cannot feel depression, anxiety, overwhelm, the three most common negative emotions of entrepreneurs. You cannot feel depression, anxiety, and overwhelm when you're grateful. You cannot feel frustration and gratitude simultaneously. It is literally impossible. It's like trying to be sad and jumping up and down in the mirror naked. You can't do it at the same time, right? It doesn't work, right? It eliminates all pain in an instant, right? And I'm not saying it solves the problem, but it allows you to see how to solve the problem. It changes everything. And remember, seeing your current good is the fastest way to increase more good. Looking for blue, what's a blessing in your life, is how you have more. So we're going to look for blue with the gratitude, because solutions will come to you when you're grateful for the life you already have. And one of the best ways, before I get into a practice to show you this, is to have some perspective. So think about this real quick. You're watching a video about mindset from anywhere in the world. US, UK, Canada, but you could literally be anywhere, right? You're probably on a safe couch or safe desk in a safe apartment or house, right? With a lock on the door, windows up or down, whatever it is. Probably a dog sitting on the couch, right? That you're going to take on a walk after this, maybe, or you maybe have a doctor you can take your kids to get treated for medical care. You can go yourself, or you have a job, or you earn a wage for your family, or you started a business where you're earning money online from people all over the country. Right? And you probably have an Apple TV that you could turn on later tonight and watch Marie Kondo's Tidying Up, or Breaking Bad, which is what I'm into, or Game of Thrones, or whatever it is, right? You have that. And most of us will take that for granted. When someone's going to kill themselves in the next 7 minutes, like, let's just think about this for a second. Someone's going to end their own life in the next 7 minutes. There is a mother out there whose baby isn't waking up tomorrow. There are people out there injecting needles into their arms to cope with pain. There are countries that live in communism. 2/3 of this world live on $900 a year, just over $2 a day. Can you imagine? If you can't pay your bills, you are rich beyond measure. We need to have that perspective. We're so accustomed to the miracles happening around us every day that we don't even see them as miracles anymore. Most of us view miracles as scarce and don't appreciate how literally everything around you was once a thought or an idea. This book, this cell phone, this Yeti water bottle, this t-shirt, this team. It was once an idea that this incredible woman had. That's all it was. It was that'd be cool. That's all it was, which proves that you can create miracles any moment you want to. Any moment you want to. We have the tendency to let go of gratitude and make it a rule that we can only be grateful if something happens. And just like we talked about a minute ago, it's setting you up to suffer in life. If you can take away anything from this entire talk, it's the following sentence, and live this, it will change everything in your world. It's so simple, so profound. You ready for it? Nothing needs to happen in order for you to be happy. Nothing. You don't need a reason. How many of you guys have reasons that you need to be fulfilled before you can smile? What if you let that go? How would everything change? And if you're smiling, business gets a hell of a lot easier. As long as you structure your life in a way where your happiness is dependent on something you don't control, the way that someone acts, what someone says, if you're judged, if you hit a goal, you're never going to be fulfilled. Even if you have success, you could be winning at life and feel like you're losing, because the scorecard you're using to measure success is unfair, because it only allows you to feel happy if something happens. And achievement without gratitude, that's total failure. Achievement without gratitude, that's total failure. Guys, you're breathing. You're alive. Isn't that enough? Isn't that enough? And if it's not enough, Until you make that become enough, you're going to have a hard time being happy. A lot of us have these expectations, right? Spouse, kids, team, volume, sales, whatever the back office says, right? And if our life conditions, meaning the way life is right now, doesn't match up with how we think it should be, we get frustrated, don't we? Because we have a rule of what needs to happen in order for us to be happy. We got to let that go. I'll teach you how, but we got to let that go because your view of life literally determines your future. So every day, condition this into yourself, and the anxiety, the depression, the overwhelm, which by the way, I lived, it goes away. And you become excited about every single day. You are talking to someone right now who went through a period in my life where I knew what I wanted so bad, and I deep down, I knew I was meant for so much more than I was getting. How many of you guys feel this? You know you're meant for so much more than you're getting, and you don't know why you're stuck. And I was sitting there, my laptop was staring at me going, dude, change your life. You have everything you need to change your life, but I couldn't get myself to act. And I just didn't care, but I cared so much at the same time, and I couldn't get myself to do it. I lived in perfection, and then when I couldn't be perfect, I felt down and depressed. Then I felt guilty for feeling down and depressed and had to be perfect again. And then I got into these bouts of depression, wishing my life would change, sitting there on the couch, feeling sorry for myself, thinking in this state of learned helplessness that it just must be something wrong with me. There must be just something wrong with me. It's because of me that I'm this way. Why won't people join me? I just felt so stuck. And even worse, I was pissed off at myself for being down and depressed. I was pissed off at myself for being less than I could be when I knew I was meant for so much more. And from practicing what I'll teach you, it went away. Went away, right? It went from 4 times a week feeling miserable to 1 time a week a couple of weeks later. Then it was once a month. Then it was once every 3 months, 6 months, year. And now I am actually this annoyingly happy all the time. And it's awesome. It's freaking awesome, right? And yes, there are days once in a blue moon I'm depressed that day. Everyone does. But instead of it being something where I just need to sleep and try again tomorrow, I can get out of it in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. And so I'd like to show you how to do that if it's okay with you. What I learned from my mentors, specifically Tony Robbins and multiple other people, is that you can literally solve any problem in your life or find direction to any problem in your life in 3 minutes using the skill of gratitude. So this is something I learned from him. I did not create this, but it's so powerful. So get somewhere where you can allow yourself to feel totally vulnerable, totally emotional. Get somewhere where you're not around anyone, the kids aren't in the room, you're wherever, because you're going to feel the things. So get where you need to go. And if you know that you're not going to play all out on video, turn your video off for a little bit. Turn your video off. Do this for you. If you don't play all out with this exercise and you don't allow yourself to feel, it's not going to do anything for you. Okay? So turn your video off if you need to, and start to think of something in your life that stresses you out on a scale of 1 to 10, like a 7 or higher. Something that you don't know how to solve. Something where you feel stuck, maybe unfinished business, something you need to say to someone, something where you just don't know where to go and you just wish you could solve the problem, but you've just been so stuck for such a long time. Raise your hand if you have your stressor. Have your stressor? All right, cool. Trust me on this, okay? Shake your body out. Sit up nice and tall and close your eyes. Shake your body out, sit nice and tall, close your eyes, and take both your hands and physically put them on your heart for a moment. Physically put both your hands on your heart and take a deep breath into your heart. Actually imagine the air flowing, big deep breath in through your nose, through your heart and back out your mouth. Another one, really big deep breath in your nose, through your heart and back out your mouth. Just relax a second and keep breathing deep into your heart and notice how your breath has calmed your mind. Take another really big deep breath in through your nose, through that heart and back out your mouth. And feel the power of your heart beating in your chest right now. Feel the strength of it. Feel the beauty of it. Feel the gift of your heart. Think of what your heart has guided you to do or to be or to give or to share. You didn't have to buy it. You didn't have to earn it. It was given to you at birth. You have inherent worth. Because this thing's beating in your chest right now. It beats even when you sleep 100,000 times a day without you doing anything for it. It's the greatest gift you have ever received. So just take a second and feel so grateful for the fact that you're breathing right now, that you have this gift of life, that you get to experience this life. and breathe that feeling into your heart. And while you're feeling grateful, go back to a memory in your life that you can feel just deep feelings of gratitude for, any moment at all. Maybe when you got married, had your first baby, any memory at all. But don't just see the memory from the outside like an observer. Relive it. Step back into that moment like you're there. See exactly what you saw then through your own eyes. Feel what you felt then. Breathe the same way you did then, feeling so grateful, so happy, so appreciative. And when you feel that gratitude for that amazing memory, go ahead and breathe that memory deep into your heart, hands on your heart, feeling so grateful. And knowing this feeling's within you whenever you want. Now do a second memory. What's another memory? 10 years ago today, doesn't matter, that you can just feel deep feelings of gratitude for. What's that moment for you? And step into that moment like you're there. Breathe the exact same way you did then. Heart's beating in your chest. Feel the same way you felt then. See what you saw then. Hear what you heard then. Feeling so grateful. Just take that memory and breathe that memory deep into your heart, feeling so grateful for it. Just appreciate it. Just love that memory and feel that in your heart right now. And now let's go to a coincidence. What's something in your life, a coincidence? Something that you didn't make happen, but it happened. Just something that led to something you value in your life. Maybe it's a coincidence that led to a person or a career or an insight or a life change. You were messaging on Facebook and you started your dream business. You were at Starbucks and you met the love of your life. You didn't mean to get pregnant, but now you have an amazing family. It's that coincidence that led to something. Was that a coincidence or were you being guided? Take a moment and feel grateful. Take a moment and feel so alive, so happy for that coincidence. Even the problems, they lead to something better, something bigger, a more elevated version of you. So take a moment and breathe that into your heart, feeling so grateful, and start to let this just well up within you right now. Feel the energy of that abundance and that gratitude spreading in every single direction. Like imagine the energy flowing out through your head, your arms, your legs, just circulating through your body. Feel that first memory, that second memory, that coincidence, and just like feeling this gratitude and this abundance, try to triple the amount of appreciation you have that you got to have those memories, that they're part of your past, that they're part of your present, that you get to see it and feel it whenever you want and just feel so grateful, so alive, so happy. And just say thank you. Just appreciate that. Feeling so grateful when you're there and you're in this beautiful state, truly grateful for this amazing gift of life. Go back to that stressor that you totally forgot about. Go back to that stressor and from your heart, not your head, ask your heart to complete the following sentence. In this stressful situation, all I need to remember is blank. In this stressful situation, all I gotta do is blank. In this situation, all I need to say is blank. Just ask your heart, what's next in that stressful situation? When you're there and you have some sort of a piece of feeling of guidance, come back on camera. How many of you guys felt something real from that? Something powerful from that? That's abundance, by the way. That's who you really are. That is you, not dominated by fear. That is you that can solve any problem in your life. That's the real you. Because you have one shot here, guys. One. And most people go through life trying to stay safe, never really going for it. You're not that person because your life could literally end at any moment. Please remember forever that you don't control the length of your life, but you do control its depth and its meaning. You were not put here to experience mediocrity. You were meant to feel fully alive every second of every single day. And I can teach you how to do that. And by the way, that feeling, that's what leads to business. That's what leads to money. That's what leads to a great marriage, a great relationship. That's it. You just felt it. You're exactly where you need to be. And there will be things that challenge you along the way, inner conflict that shows up. And it's that feeling, that piece of who you truly are that's going to solve that. And when you make this just part of your life, game over. You solve anything you need to. It's not even hard anymore. The things that feel like they're weighing on your heart right now, that feel like it takes just so much energy to solve, you're going to breeze through them. You will be amazed at how fast your life changes when this becomes who you are. So if this is something, guys, that you feel could truly benefit your life, if it's okay with you, I'd love to share just for a quick 3 minutes, and then I promise I'll let you guys go, just a few 3 minutes about an opportunity I have for you guys to learn how to make this part of who you are. And if it's not for you, that's totally okay. There's zero pressure here whatsoever, okay? But like I said at the beginning, the transformation is in the transaction. That's when you're all in. So, guys, we barely scratched the surface. Barely. We talked on what you need to do in a very top level fashion. We said that appreciation for your existing life is the key to living the life that you want. And there are multiple comments in the chat box about how I try, but I just can't get there. That's what I'm offering you an opportunity to break through. If you feel like you're pushing so hard for different results in life and it just feels like they're getting further away, and you have the tools, right? The invite tools, the budgeting tools, the tracking system, you have that, but you don't get why it's not happening for you. And it feels like there's something broken and you don't know what's going on. And some days you crush it, some days you can't figure it out. And you can't figure out what's stopping you from success, but most importantly, happiness. I've created an online course that will teach you how to break through all of it, and I mean all of it. There are over 500 Beachbody coaches in this program, created by a former Beachbody coach for coaches, because I know exactly what you face. The reason you feel stuck, guys, like I said at the beginning, inner conflict, past hurts that you haven't let go of. And over the years, whatever you repeat to yourself consistently, you will believe. Right? We need to change those beliefs. It's limiting beliefs, negative self-talk, lack of worth, all those things keeping you stuck where you are. You've heard the cliches, change your thinking, change your life. This program will teach you how. It will teach you how. And because your leader's amazing, we've arranged a 50% off discount on this program for you guys. 50% off of this program. That's for a payment plan and a full pay option. So even if things are tight, there's still a way to make it work. And by the way, if things are tight, I fully respect that. I lived it. And whether it's through me or through someone you trust more, if it's through me or through someone you trust more, if things are tight, that's exactly why you need to invest, because you can't change your mindset from the mindset you can't change your life from the mindset that got you to where you are now. Okay, so that's why I have a 90-day guarantee on this program. All the details, I'll give you a page in a second, which will have all the details. But you guys know who Jen Richardson is? 15-star Diamond Coach, Million Club member. She says, and I quote, "Appreciation Academy is the missing link that every Beachbody coach needs to finally see success in their business." You guys know who Micah Folsom is? Double 15-star Diamond Coach, I think. Million Club member, Rockstar. She says, and I quote, "If you're doing all the things and you don't know why you're not successful, and even if you are successful, you feel empty inside, you absolutely must invest in this program." I can go on and on with testimonials. My goal is not to impress you. It's to impress upon you the power of this. This is not about business. It's about ripping away the layers of pain, preventing you from having business. It's about ripping away the limiting beliefs holding you back. Again, this is not a business training. That stuff doesn't work until you master this, and especially this. It gets to the core of what's stopping you. It teaches you how to finally believe in yourself, how to silence the inner demons, and how to just love your life. And like we talked about, business, success, and money don't cause happiness. Happiness causes those things. This is how I went from stuck on the couch, that feeling I told you about a minute ago, to where I am now. It's 7 years of growth packed together so you don't need to make the same mistakes I did and wait that long. And the results of the hundreds of people whose lives, marriages, and bank accounts and businesses have drastically changed speak for themselves. So guys, if you felt something real, if you've been living in a memory that says you're not enough, if you're spinning your wheels, I encourage you to enroll in Appreciation Academy at that 50% off discount. That discount's only available for a couple days. I know how you feel. I lived it. I've been in that scarcity spot where it's like, I can't afford it. I'm asking you to ask yourself, how can I? And take advantage of that 90-day guarantee. So if you guys would like to get unstuck and take advantage of that discount, all you have to do, and Marie has this information, she'll post on the team page after the call. All you got to do is head to bradbizjack.com/team call. And make sure it's that exact link, because if you go to bradbizjack.com and go to the Appreciation Academy site, it's double the price, so I wouldn't do that. So bradbizjack.com/team call. There's a little opt-in form that you can opt out of at any time. That will help me keep track of what team you're from. And then the next page has the sales information, the cost, all the copy, all that stuff, and the different options. So again, that's bradbizjack.com/team call. And either way, guys, whether it's for you or not, thank you for the privilege of serving you tonight. Like, truly, I know I went over my time. I know I said I'd try to keep it to 35 minutes, and I went an hour and 5 minutes, but I promise you guys, this is what changed everything in my life, and I promise you it will change yours as well. So I hope to see you in Appreciation Academy. I hope to continue this relationship with you and be your coach on this journey, and thank you for tonight. So Maria, I will turn it back to you, my friend. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, as I'm leaking. I just, from the bottom of my heart, Brad, thank you so much. That was so beautiful. That was so inspiring and so impactful. I have like 6 pages of notes. I'll give you this honor. I started my new special journal that I just bought with this call. So I was like, ooh, this feels like this is going to be a good one. I'm going to start the new journal with this. But everything you said resonated so deeply with me. And as somebody who worked her tail off and is prone to overachieving and achieving without the fulfillment almost, right? You know, like when you were like, oh, the elite coach who hits elite and then wonders why they're not happy. That was me at the beginning of this year. So you just really spoke volumes to me. And I know looking at the chat, you spoke to everybody else. There was a lot of coaches who couldn't make this call and are looking forward to the recording. So I'm really, really excited to be able to give them your value that you showed up with. So thank you so much. Just the way you show up. You show up with such a servant's heart. And I think that's why you and I connected. And I'm personally really excited to dive into Appreciation Academy. And if any of you guys really felt called to connect with Brad and connected with his message, or you feel like this might be something that you want to do, I encourage you to invest in it, because for myself personally, the times that I have up-leveled and challenged and pushed myself, even amidst like financial struggle, those are the times that I then decided I'm worth this investment. And it was only then that I was able to become a better version of myself, become the next level of myself, hit that next achievement that I wanted to. So really, really, really grateful. Thank you so much, Brad. And I'll send everybody that information. This will go up as a recording, and I'll attach the link to that as well. So if anybody, do you guys have any last questions? I know we kind of went a little bit over, but I'm grateful for it. So if you have any questions, baby coming at the end of September, totally. And you'll know if it's right timing for you. Oh yeah, Brad, you go for it.
And one challenge I have for you, Cassie, and there's, again, if it's not for you, that's okay. Please never mistake my enthusiasm for pressure whatsoever. If it's not for you, that's totally okay. My challenge to you is, what kind of mother could you be with this way of thinking? And that's kind of the next level, right? Like, imagine the level of confidence and belief that child would have growing up into the world and who they become. So that's the one challenge I have for you. Again, if it's not for you, I completely respect that, and there's no pressure whatsoever. So I just wanted to answer that challenge real quick, but I hope that helps.
That was really awesome. Thank you so much, Brad. Really, really appreciate you. And thank you everybody for being on live. I know that it's always so powerful when you get to be on the call during the moments. You get to feel like, do the activity with everybody. I had goosebumps doing that activity, and it's not even the first time I've done that before, but I just like, every time it's such a good reminder. It's so easy to forget, right? It's so easy to forget, and you get in a state of doing instead of being. And it's like, well, you said it, like, you're breathing. Isn't that enough? Of course it is. So thank you so much for the beautiful reminders. That was awesome. I hope you have a great night, everybody. I'm going to sign us off. I'll put the recording up. And thank you again, Brad. I'm sure you guys, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to him on Facebook or direct them through me, and I'll send them his way. So, or go through his website, either one. Hope you guys have a great night. Take care. Peace and blessings.